Hello, hello. Welcome back to Nothing Upstairs. My name's
What
Brian,
up?
and my co-host over there is Edsel. We are here, hopefully, to entertain you for another couple hours. No, just an hour,
Couple
roughly.
hours.
Just an
I was
hour.
like, God, no.
But yeah, I don't know. Just gonna go straight into it. How's your week been?
It's been. How has it been?
I
Holy
don't
shit.
know.
What have I done this week? I feel like I've done too many things. You know, whenever you do too many things and you're like, I don't know why I literally could just not. I could just lay, not do shit. And then I decided to just fill my schedule up.
You
That's how
know,
it's been.
see, the thing is, like, I like that though, because sure, it's always nice to just relax and do nothing, but there's something about just having your schedule packed and you're constantly doing something. You just feel like you're fulfilled. There's no like
Yeah.
this weird, just kind of dreadful waiting period of nothingness where you're kind of just
The
idling.
dread.
It's like what the idling related depression. It's a thing.
Yeah, that's true. No, I literally do it to distract myself. That's entirely accurate.
Hmm.
So, and then I'll be like, oh, I miss it. I miss just idling. I miss just not doing anything. And then I'll do it for like 2 days, and I'm like, we're good. We need to go back. Nope, fill my schedule up again.
Yeah.
How has your week been?
No, 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 no. I know for a fact you
Ah!
have more things going on.
Shut up.
I mean, we don't have to talk
Well,
about it if you don't wanna.
well, I can say I happened to text or happened to get a text from a guy that I had asked out like a long time ago via a note. And this note was like I'm talking like it's been like 2 months, like some crazy shit. And I just thought he never. I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna move on. And then literally yesterday I'm scrolling through my text because I'm a terrible. This motherfucker knows it. I'm a shitty texter, and that's an understatement. I just don't like texting. I could not care less for it.
You can be
And I was looking
dying
through all.
and like text him like, dude,
Yeah,
I need help. Like, I can't talk right now because I don't know, like the murderer is still in the house. If I talk, he's gonna know. I'm like, I can spam him 1,000 texts, nothing.
nothing.
And he,
I
and
it
he has
it doesn't
he
matter.
has the Apple smartwatch too, so his whole thing buzzes. He'll just look at it and be like, mm-hmm. He would just be like, it's a text. I'm not
I
even
don't.
gonna bother.
I think my brain is stuck on the fact that a text to me is an email. Like I'm like, I'll respond when I sit down and have time. I can't stop. I just don't. I don't know. I could be doing whatever the fuck. I could be doing the less important shit in the world, and I cannot stop to text. Like it's just it fucks me up. That and if I get a call from somebody while I'm working out, while I'm in the gym, you could be dying. You could be in the middle of the street, splurged out, like after a car accident, and I'll be like, yeah, just give me a second. I need to, I
I
need
got
to do a
three,
couple more. I
4,
have 3 more
5.
sets. Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is, but I was looking through the list of texts, and I was going back like we had like 200 unread text messages. It's ridiculous. I was looking back, and I'm like, yeah, there were some that were from last year that I was like, we're not doing that anymore.
It's
Most of them were
October,
pretty.
dude. Last year?
Last year. I'm
Oh
not
my
kidding. I'm not
god.
kidding. No, and here's the thing. Most of them were pretty useless, so I'll say that. Most of them were like, here's this funny meme, and I'm like, bitch.
Well, yeah, it's fucking a year later. Of course it's useless now.
Shut up. So I by the way, don't send me memes via text. I don't think you do. I think you've learned your lesson, but like I won't look at them. I just don't even. Don't if you wanna show me a meme, you're going to have to literally set out a time to hang out, and you will have to show me in person. You will have to force me physically to be like, look at it.
That
I'm like,
defeats the
okay,
purpose of
shit.
a meme.
Shut up.
I'm not gonna go seek
So
you
I
out to
was going.
show you a meme.
I was going through all these texts, And then I realized from like 2 months ago, whenever I sent the note, like it's a physical sticky pad note. The guy had actually texted. He had texted like a week later, so it still was like a while. Because I was paying attention to my phone like for once that day. I was like, I'm gonna see. But he had actually texted, and I responded back. I'm like, hey, shit. How you doing? But we figured out eventually who each other were, and then we just started going. So now we are planning on going out, maybe. So yeah,
Yeah, and I can't remember what episode it was that you talked about. Hopefully, it's one that will be aired. But if you guys don't know what he's talking about, and if it is something that is going to be aired, you guys can go back to probably episode 2 or something or 3, and you guys will be able to hear his story on the small talk section. If not, then well, you're shit out of luck.
it's the same. It's the same person. So that's been happening, and then outside of that, I had some. We were trying to get some stuff out because SNAP benefits are ending soon for for a lot of people. It's for the food stamps and stuff. So we were out and about like in the downtown area trying to figure out how we could help people out a little bit and just trying to see if there's any way that we can essentially help out when these benefits end. I think they might be there. I saw on the news that they might be still going on. That there might be a judge interested in actually stopping benefits from ending, but we'll see. So there's that. Those two things have been kind of going on right now, and then just general meetings and stuff, and all the other shit that I'm usually doing. How about your week? Tell me about your week.
I've been doing good. I think for I started climbing again because I finally been
Oh
cleared.
yeah.
Yeah, I finally been cleared from my doctor that I can put some weight into my shoulder again. So I've been climbing. It's good. The gym is. I miss it, man. I miss it. It's so good. The specific gym that I go to, they changed their scaling system a little bit, so they made everything a little bit harder now, which is fine with me. I don't mind. It's just I forgot how fun it is. It's great. I'm trying to drag this motherfucker to go with me, but he's just procrastinating and being a little bitch.
It's expensive. It's expensive, and I'm broke as fuck. Leave me
Mm,
alone.
mm, okay. Anyway,
um,
but
but
what
what
else?
have you? Were you able to send routes, or
Oh
are you
yeah,
still like?
tons,
Oh, okay, shit. You just jumped straight into it.
pretty
I was
much.
like imagining you would like be like, okay, that's it for the
I
day.
mean, I
Like you
did that
know,
the
just
first
recovering.
I did that the first 2 days, yeah, but, I mean, I'm still a lot weaker, after, like, I'm just bouldering for now, I'm not doing any top rope. After, like, 1 route or attempt of 1 route, I'm, like, huffing and puffing, like, I'm gonna die," but yeah, so I'll get back to it eventually.
So what you're saying is you are me like now you are me normally back when I was in the gym. Is that what you're saying? Are you still better? Are you about to tell me you're still better? You bitch. You said no, it's not really that low.
Hey,
Damn.
man, you just gotta come and find out.
He said you did ask.
You just gotta come and find out, man. That's all I have to say.
That's crazy.
But
Um
other than that, I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I'm reading a book series called Dungeon Crawler Carl, and
oh yes, you did mention it last time, I
okay,
think.
I am still so absolutely obsessed with it. It is so good. I'm on book 5 right
Really?
now. There are 7
You're on book
books.
5?
Yeah, I'm on book 5. There's 7 books. It is still an ongoing series, so it's not done. There's estimated to be potentially 10, and I am enjoying every second of it. I've never read a book like this before. Like, I'm not a huge
You should just
reader.
end that sentence.
Um,
I've never read a book.
yeah. Well, the thing is, like, that is true. I like for those that don't know me, even the ones that do, I don't know, whatever. I'm not a big book reader. I'm just not a reader. I don't read because I don't know, I'm dumb. But even like before, when I have books that I enjoyed, after like I don't know, maybe 50 plus pages, depending on the day, I just need to set it down. Regardless of how good it is, I need to set it down and just kind of like do something else so I can regain some of that reading energy. But this one, any chance I get, I am reading it. I am just obsessed with this.
How long has it taken you to get to the fifth book?
Um, I started it maybe a little bit over a month ago now.
You've read. So wait, hold on. You
I
started the
started the
fifth book.
series.
You started the series a
Yeah,
month ago,
roughly,
bitch.
probably.
Damn,
I mean, granted, they're
it
not
must really
like
be good.
they're not super long books. They're I'm reading it on my phone, so it's an ebook. But
Okay.
on an ebook, it's roughly 300-400 pages. So on a regular book, it's probably what 200 plus or minus.
Are you are you usually like a big fantasy fan or like a big fantasy person?
Not It doesn't have to be fantasy, but it's pretty much fiction. I read fiction only
Oh,
because
okay.
to me, nonfiction, I already live it and it's depressing as shit. So I don't really need to be reading more of it. I can just go read the news if I really want to. But yeah, no, I am obsessed with it. All I can say is I highly recommend to anyone that enjoys fiction, sci-fi kind of. It's a bit like D&D story ish wise, slightly like D&D. It gives off, I mean, it's dungeon crawler, the name dungeon crawler Carl. It's in the name. But it's, I don't know. It's great. It's good.
You see, the thing about me is that I do like fantasy, but it's hard for me to get started in fantasy. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to open a fantasy book and like actually get started reading it. Whereas a fiction or like a nonfiction book, I'm like, if it's up my alley of like what interests me, like whether it be history, science, whatever, I'm like, oh, I want to read more about this. But like since fantasy books are a little bit more obscure, like mysterious, they're like the torch of flames, and I'm like, cool. I don't know.
Wait, do you have Aphantasia? Do you know what that
What
is?
is that?
Aphantasia
I don't
is
know what that is.
you it's a
Oh no, I know what that is. No, I don't have it. I do like very vividly picture stuff as I'm reading,
okay.
so
Well,
it's very vivid.
for those that don't know, Aphantasia is a for the lack of better terms, I apologize. I genuinely don't know. Like, is it disorder? I guess I don't think so, but it's a thing where people cannot visually imagine things. Like right now, like if I'm like, yeah, this I am imagining myself eating an apple. I can picture an apple. I can picture the texture of the apple. I can picture myself crunching into the apple, and then what it looks like the apple after I take a bite out of it. But for some people, like it's having pictures in their head, like it's not a thing. It's called aphantasia.
That genuinely fucking bothers me. Not the fact that people have
Bothers you?
just be like, why do y'all? Why? Stop. Just picture it. What bothers me is the idea that like some of us just simply can't do some shit like mentally.
Just be
Like
better,
so I
dude.
learned
You fucking
recently, right?
dumbass.
Shut up. I recently learned about a disorder. I think it's a, I don't want to call it a disorder because it's honestly fucking cool, but maybe people suffer from it. But there's a very rare subset of women that see more colors than just, they have like four types of color receptors instead of three. And they're able to see like extra colors that nobody else is able to see. It's extremely rare, but like that bothers me. I'm like, now I'm mad
See,
because
in
I want to see more colors.
in the opposite of that, I have a friend. She has face blindness, and what that means is she doesn't recognize faces. She can recognize a person by their voice, what they're wearing, and kind of just how they talk and stuff like that. But if you just go up to her and you say nothing, she's just gonna look at you. Guys can be friends for 10 years. She would not I mean, frankly, she didn't recognize her own husband on the bus that they went on together. She was telling me like she went up and her husband is like fucking 7 foot tall as fuck. So usually for the most part, she didn't really have any problem. She's like, I don't know, 5 foot. So she's shorter than me, and her husband is like enormous. She saw this guy that was really tall, and she kind of just, and roughly the same color shirt and same color pants. So she just went over there and just grabbed onto the guy's hand and just, was there until like her husband just came from the side and it's just like, honey, that's not me. I'm over here. And then she's just like,
That's fucking terrifying.
okay. But yeah, and pretty
Can
much
you imagine?
and pretty much
That's fucking
anytime
terrifying.
it is, I cannot imagine. Anytime I see her outside of the regular setting that I would see her, I have to announce myself. I'm like, "Hey, it's me, Brian." And then she'd be like, "Oh, hi, Brian." And then
That's
she'll but if I don't, I'll
crazy.
just be like, "Hey." She's just gonna be like, "Hi,
Ugh.
person."
No, because that's so fucking creepy. I can't imagine. Like, I would go to sleep beside my husband, and would like wake up just being like, "Is this motherfucker still my husband?" Like that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
I would psych myself
she was
out.
saying like it's a thing they found out early on in her childhood because she never like was able to like recognize their parents. They just go up to whatever, and they went to the doctors, and the doctor showed her like pictures of her family, that mom, dad, and then pictures of just random people, and she was not able to pick out which ones her mom and dad's are. And
Damn,
I
that's
was like,
crazy.
and like I feel really bad, but every time I'm just like, I had so many questions for her constantly. I was just like,
Uh,
oh, so like example XYZ, like what is, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to like take advantage of your face blindness. I'm just genuinely so curious. That is such a phenomenon that I cannot fathom.
I am actually genuinely. I promise you, this has something to do with this conversation. But I am mad at TikTok right now because there is a thing where like blind people will go on TikTok and like make TikToks and stuff, and they'll respond to comments, and I'm like, how are you responding? And the thing is, they've explained it. I've heard is that they've explained it multiple times, but I fucking can never TikTok's algorithm. I can't find a single explanation. I imagine that it might be like a voiceover or something, but I'm like, what
Technology, man.
I'm like, I really want to know how the fuck y'all do this. I imagine
Technology
it's
is
just a
pretty
voiceover,
crazy.
but
There's a thing
it's
called
crazy.
where you can kind of tap
Sound.
things and then it will tell you what the thing you
Oh
tapped
shit,
is.
really?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Shut the fuck
quite crazy.
up. Shut up.
But she was able to
But yeah,
recognize
in
animals
general,
though, because I work
so
with.
she's like just animal species or like
I don't
individual
know.
animals. Like,
I never got to because I didn't see her that often, so I never got to asking her. But she was able because I work with her in an animal setting, and she was able to recognize exactly which animal is who and whatever. But people, it's a different story.
that's crazy. I would psych myself out. I think I would go insane.
So yeah,
That
so
applause to her.
you can literally go up to her and have both your eyebrows shaved. She wouldn't say a word about it because she won't even register it.
You see, I'm a terrible friend. I would just fuck with them all the time.
Probably, probably.
Yeah.
But
So what are we talking about today?
hey, bitch, I'm not done. I got other things.
Okay, then spill. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead
it's I
then.
just have one more thing. I just thought it was funny. I wanted to share.
No, now it better be the best thing in the world. Go
It
for it.
can be
You have high
depending on your
standards.
definition. Um,
Okay.
so for those that don't know me, I I wear glasses, prescription glasses for the most part. My eyesight's not that bad, but I I need them on a daily basis to to be alive, and I have this pair of glasses, and that's kind of what I look like. A little computer geek right here. But I recently got a new pair because this prescription needed updating, and also it's old as fuck, and it's got scratches and everything everywhere. So this new pair, I'm gonna put it on over here. Hold on. This new pair I got, I look like Tina from Bob's Burgers. I
You look
am
like a hipster.
such a nerd. I look like
Ah!
such an. Let me turn this light off so the glaring is
No,
not there.
I'll tell you what you look like. You look like you're
Oh,
growing weed in
I
a bay window style house in San Francisco. And you have three sausage dogs. Sausage dogs. What is
sausage
the dog
dogs.
sons?
Fucking the whatever hounds, dachshunds.
Dog sons. You have three dachshunds, you're growing weed and selling it off of your San Francisco home. That's exactly what you look
Yeah,
like. And
imagine me without my facial hair, right?
that is crazy. That is crazy.
and give myself a little bang. I'm like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
You are. It's so true.
But also, I
That's so
love Bob's
funny.
Burgers. Most of my animals, my own pets, they're named after Bob's Burgers characters.
Really?
Yeah,
Why haven't?
I have
I guess
Louise.
I haven't watched the Box Burgers too
I have
much.
I had Louise, Tina, Jean, Tammy. I had Linda
Nice.
in there for a while, but I changed it
You
because
see, Bob's Burgers for me is like I get stuck on it if somebody's showing it in public, which for some reason a lot of the times is showing in public. But like if somebody's showing the show in public, then I'll be like glued to it. But like outside of it, I don't seek it out. I don't know what it is, but that's how my relationship with Bob's Burgers. It reminds me of my friend Raf. He like was like, no, I'm not interested in Grey's Anatomy when I was in my Grey's Anatomy phase, and he. But then I would put on an episode, and motherfucker was glued. You could not get his attention away from. And he was like making remarks and things, but he would never seek it out. Otherwise, he's like, I
I
don't care about the show.
I love Bob's Burgers. It's a great show. I think it's super underrated.
Mm.
But yeah, now I look like Tina, and it's great. I think it's funny as shit. They're so big. They cover my entire face, and I was just like,
They're
and the thing is like
humongous.
regular glasses,
Did
like
you pick him out?
yeah, I bought it online, so I did like the whole AI thing where like I like put it on myself virtually, and I can look around. And
And were you just like, I look like Tina and I'm gonna go with
no, I
it?
and the virtually it looked fine. It looked normal, but then I I got it and I put it on, and I was like, holy shit! I mean, like I
God
I don't
damn.
mind it. I think it's funny, and frankly,
Yeah.
the glasses they're so because they're normal glasses. You have like quote unquote blind spots, right? Like you have this is your glasses. You can kind of see up, you can see down, you can see sideways, just like where the glass isn't really touching. Something's touching me. But that pair, since it's so big, I barely have any blind spots, and it's great. I'm just like I don't care. You're the one that has to look at me. If you don't like the way I look, sucks to be you.
You like rarely wear glasses though, right? Because I don't think I've seen you maybe a couple of times with them, like when you're like doing computer work and stuff. Or do you wear them all the time?
I
Am
wear
I
them all the
just
time.
do I have the face recognition fucking thing? Well,
I
actually, I
think
don't think
I
that
think
means.
yours is just called that you are not attentive.
Shut the fuck
Attentive,
up.
attentive. English is hard
I guess I've
sometimes.
never noticed. I
Yeah,
guess I've never noticed.
I wear glasses almost all the time, man. I take them
Like even while
off.
you're working.
Yeah, I take them off when I use computer stuff and when I'm eating or something because I don't really need them. I can keep them on if I wanted to, but I usually take them off just cause. But otherwise, I they're on almost all the time.
Do you wear contacts or are you just like
I
fuck
do
it?
wear contacts every now and then. I don't do it often because it just dries out my eyeballs, and it's just and I have sensitive little bitch eyeballs. So even if like the tiniest speck of dust gets in there, like my eyes all red, and I'm like needing to take the contacts out either to wash it or just put a new pair in.
I see.
So, but yeah,
All right. Well, what are we talking about today? This bitch.
this motherfucker just really wants to jump in the topic, huh?
Yes,
Nah,
I do. I wonder why.
okay. The reason is because I already kind of told him a little bit about it, so he's excited, and that's why he wants to really jump into it. But I was gonna say it's. I don't want to say it's an exciting topic because it is. It's not. It's definitely extremely unfortunate. We wanted to talk about a little bit is
Oh, okay.
quite
I thought you
literally
meant the topic in general, and I was like, it's
no,
not an exciting
no.
topic. Damn, you're just screwing up.
What we want to talk about uh quite literally is weather. And the reason why we want to talk about that is because Jamaica at the moment is being hit extremely hard with a Cat 5 hurricane right now. And pretty much the last time it is such a strong hurricane that it is the same record as some really big ones like way back in like 1930 something and like, I think Hurricane Durian and stuff like that. Um So it's a really harsh one, and Jamaica, of all places, aren't usually ones that would get hit by a hurricane, so they're even more ill prepared than some other places would be. And I figure we can talk a little bit about that. And since Etzel mentioned before that he is a storm chaser, and I can kind of let him explain a little bit what storm chasing is, what that entails. It is not all fun and games. It is not like how you see on TV where people are just like crazy kids in the pickup trucks and cha- driving straight into a tornado. It is not like that. So I don't know. I'll let you take away.
I've been keeping track of. Shout out to Max Velocity. He's one of the my favorite live streamers for weather, as well as Ryan Hall. And Ryan Hall, I think, is the most popular one. But they've been tracking the hurricane pretty well, and I've been like just going into their live streams and stuff. And it is crazy how strong that hurricane became. Like for those of you who do not know, so a lot of the times the strength of hurricanes, okay, it's measured through wind speed and like a myriad of other things, but also what correlates to the wind speed is the central pressure of the hurricane. What the pressure is at the eye, and your average like trough rain event here in the US, like in the mainland, is probably like 1,000 millibars. This motherfucking hurricane was at 800 and I think 92 millibars, which is in context, that's nearing like the lowest thermodynamically possible pressure that you can get inside these systems. Like it was like record breaking. Obviously, it broke record for the strongest hurricane that ever has hit Jamaica. It became the strongest tropical cyclone in the world this year, and it broke like a myriad of other records. It's insanely strong, and on top of that, it was moving super slowly. It wasn't stationary, but it just crawled on top of Jamaica, which is just absolutely terrible. The only plus side that it really the forecast was a little bit wrong because initial forecasts were saying that it would go almost straight through Kingston, which is the capital of Jamaica. The only positive is that it did move towards the west and away from Kingston, which is where probably we would have seen more incredible damage, and that's through a more rural area, but it still hits some major cities, and I don't want to take away from the people who were affected by it. Montego Bay is within one of those that are harshest hits. I think it's Black River and a couple of others as well. Westmoreland, just towns in Jamaica that were just obliterated by the hurricane. One thing though is that Jamaicans, at least online, they are taking it fantastically, as fantastic as you can take it. Not only are people like volunteering to clean up stuff, they're like organizing and stuff around helping each other, but you see like jokes and memes being posted from them to the world on social media, on TikToks, just like dancing out in the rain. Like obviously there it's just another way to cope. It's something that everybody has kind of just been mentioning online, just like how funny Jamaicans are, how they're like taking this. And in a way, I think that everybody kind of does that. Like whenever we saw Hurricane Milton last year, you saw memes and jokes being posted from Floridians who were being affected and stuff like that. So in a way, I think everybody who is affected by storms and weather and stuff like that is like tries to take it as lightly as possible, just to cope. So it's not a purely Jamaican thing, but that's been also good to see on top of just everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like a lot of times when tragedies like that happen, it's not like you can pretend that it didn't happen. You, it happened. It is there. You have to acknowledge it. And a lot of times to make it easier on yourself and people that you love, people that love you, is just kind of to take it with a lighthearted smile and laughter.
Yeah, that's it's crazy to think about the fact that so in 2017 back in and y'all have probably heard me talk about this a little bit. 2017, that was by the way terrible year for Atlantic hurricane season. That was the year Harvey hit, Irma, Maria in Puerto Rico. So in 2017 when Maria hit Puerto Rico, there was like a huge blackout and people were in a humanitarian crisis for around 6 months. A lot of like political conversations about negligence of the island and stuff like that and the state of the island's infrastructure. But it's also really wild to see how by in terms of the human development index, in terms of what you would consider infrastructure and stuff like that, Jamaica is technically lower in the development index than Puerto Rico is, because Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States and it does get benefits from it being a territory of the United States. It is crazy to see though that when Maria was not even at hadn't made landfall yet, as it was approaching, there was an island-wide blackout of electricity for the island of Puerto Rico. And it's interesting to see how in Jamaica only about a quarter of the island lost power in that just and it talks I think it demonstrates a how bad the infrastructure of Puerto Rico is, but also it just drives my curiosity up, like what is Jamaica doing with their electrical infrastructure that is able to sustain such a humongous and disastrous hurricane, because by all means that should be a wide blackout hurricane. It is crazy that they only got like a quarter of their electricity out.
Oh yeah, it is interesting because like that level hurricane, even in like East Coast America, yeah, East Coast United States, where they routinely experience hurricane, that would have affected them majorly as well. Not and it's not just like in places like Puerto Rico. And to speak like how like strong the hurricane was too, I think the quarter or a third lost power of the island lost power. It was like I think an hour before the hurricane even hit. Like it was that was how powerful the hurricane was. Like before it even really like officially landed, they were already suffering blackouts and stuff like that. So, but that is really
I have a
interesting. Yeah.
question. Since you were out in Taiwan for many years, did y'all ever experience a typhoon over there? For those of y'all who do not know, hurricanes, typhoons, tropical cyclones, all of those terms are interchangeable. They're the exact same weather system. Have you experienced a typhoon out there?
Yeah, I grew up I grew up with them, man. It's weird when I moved to California and I'm just like, "Oh, this is considered a hard rain?" It's like
Why is it calm?
it's like walking a park weather. What do you mean? But no, I
What's the
remember
strongest one?
I don't remember the name of it, but I remember it was our entire first floor was flooded to our ankles, and just me and my entire family, we were just getting squeegees, brooms, anything that we can, just like trying to push the water all out. I mean, we made a it was fun for me because I was a child. I'm sure it wasn't for my adults, family members at the time because they had to deal with it. I just was there pushing water for fun.
You're like,
Um,
ooh, we have
yeah,
a swimming pool in the
yeah,
bottom floor.
pretty much. And I was just like, oh, look at that. And the thing is, like, Taiwan is built to withstand typhoons, hurricanes, earthquakes, and stuff like that because we are pretty much in the center of all that stuff. So it's not like our infrastructure is not built for it. But I mean, Mother Nature is tough, man. Sometimes you can be as prepared as you want. It just don't fucking matter.
I don't know if if you were, maybe you weren't outside, you stayed indoors. Probably you stayed indoors. I hope you stayed indoors. But the I will say it is a completely, because we know that this hurricane in particular and many hurricanes, this hurricane in particular had 220 mile per hour wind gusts and 185 mile per hour sustained winds. And it's one thing to see the number and be like, ah, that's crazy, that's super fast. It's another thing to actually stand or witness that. It is like your whole world has just completely shifted. Like you're like, I did not know the sky could do this. Like
Okay,
what in the
like yeah,
world?
like as a kid in Taiwan, we biked to school, like bicycles. And unless it's kind of like I feel like Midwestern and Northern America where people still go work and go to school when it snows. It's just when it gets bad, then they don't. So it's the same with Taiwan. We still go do our normal daily shit when it's monsoon season, when it's typhoon season, when we have a typhoon. like actively upon us. We still do our stuff. It's just when it gets too bad, then we cancel work and school and stuff like that. So I have tons of memories where I'm in a giant poncho. Didn't fucking matter. I'm soaked through anyway. A giant ass poncho. I'm like biking in the rain. The raindrops were fucking horizontal, hitting me from the side. And I will like want to take a right turn or a left turn. I'm like leaning like all the way like this, but I'm still going that way because of the wind. So
Is and y'all were in that y'all were doing shit like going to school and stuff.
yeah,
That's crazy.
you gotta,
Yeah, I
man.
never thought about that.
So the thing is like, if we don't, that's like half the year. We won't get education for half the year if we don't go to school during bad weather. So
Damn, I think in terms of like because me growing up in Puerto Rico, in terms of being in hurricane areas or prone areas, Puerto Rico and Taiwan are very similar in that. But I think Taiwan is just so big that it happens to her typhoons probably strike it a lot more often. But also there is I did say that those terms are interchangeable, but I will mention this: typhoons have a propensity to be much stronger because typhoons. So for anybody that doesn't know, just a little bit of like sciencey background shit. Hurricanes form over warm waters, and they typically you have to have a good amount of time, unless it's explosive intensification. You have to have a good amount of time over warm waters for the hurricane to build up. You have to have other shit like there can't be crosswinds in different directions. The best way that I can describe it is that a hurricane's eye is like a Jenga tower. And so imagine you put a Jenga tower on an ice skating rink. Just follow me out here. So if you wanted to move the Jenga tower one direction without touching it, you could theoretically think about maybe using a fan to blow it gently in that direction. If you use uniform airflow to move it, hypothetically, as long as it's not super strong, you should be able to move the entire structure, just have it glide over, but stay together. If you think about it though, if you use one fan over here, one fan over here, or this fan is stronger than the flow at the bottom, then your tower is gonna topple. And that's exactly how hurricanes work. So they need relatively no shear, is what we call it, no crosswinds in the atmosphere. They need warmth in the ocean, at least 80 degrees. Even though the Atlantic is really good for having those conditions, there is no better ocean than the Pacific Ocean for those conditions. Because when you think about it, I mean, think just how big the Pacific Ocean is. It is just humongous. So it allows storm systems to pop up halfway around the world and just gather all the strength before it hits land, which I'm sure you know from personal experience, but it's like a different thing hearing it. I have storm chased one storm before. It was a category 1 hurricane. I've done multiple storms, but only one hurricane. And I'll say it is just, if you haven't experienced it, there is no prediction as to whether you will be terrified or excited. It's something that's like weird about storm chasers, that we do get excited about these events, even though we're also like in our heads are like, this is a natural disaster, people are likely going to die. So we have like trying to balance the excitement of like, ooh, shit's going down, versus yes, but like this is going to just destroy people's lives, which is always just the weirdest balance to have as a storm chaser.
yeah, yeah, I bet. I went storm chasing a couple times with this guy, and I mean, I learned a lot. Each time is different. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain. Besides, like, it's something that, for the lack of better terms, us normies don't understand until we're in it with you. And I'm like, I think I get it, but also like, why are we running towards the thing? But if you want to explain a little bit what storm chasers do, obviously you'll have a way better explanation than I can. So, just for those that don't know, what do you guys do? How do you do it, and why?
So why? So storm chasers, we it depends on where you're at in the world, but storm chasers typically are out here trying to gather data, information, pictures from storms actually live happening, out in the world. We use things like radar. And it's like professional radar, so not like the radar that you see on your phone, but it's a more professional radar that lets you have all these other coefficients and variables that you can see and map out. We use a compilation of that data to kind of figure out where to station ourselves. Most storm chasers are obviously famously storm chase tornadoes. The United States is particularly popular for storm chasing. In fact, it is so popular that it's common for European travelers and like travelers from other countries to get on buses and stuff that are just made to go storm chase and take them near to a tornado. And it's which is crazy, but the essence of it is that most storm chasers are American because we are located in the plains of the United States is like this really perfect hot pot of like mixes of things that produce tornadoes and let tornadoes happen. So the plains of the United States are actually the most tornado prone region in the entire world. There's no other place you will find as strong of tornadoes and as frequent as tornadoes as you will find in the states of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, etc. And so it's very popular. The why can depend on who you're asking. There are some people that they just do it straight for fun. There's a lot of amateur storm chasers that are just out there just living it out. But the most professional storm chasers that you hear of, they're doing stuff like gathering data, helping meteorologists gather data about storm formation, tornado progression, how they live, how they die, how they exactly form, and stuff. And then they do a lot of stuff like if you're a National Weather Service spotter, you can actually help to report tornadoes when they do form, which is hugely needed because sometimes those radar and things that the National Weather Service used to create tornado warnings are not the best sometimes. There's like areas where it's too far from other radars, so you get like shitty ass. It's like shitty reception. You're like, I don't know what's going on over there. It looks like shit might be going down, so you need people on the ground to help you spot. It's honestly both exhilarating and absolutely terrifying at the same time. Most of the time, it's like fishing. Most of the time, it's just absolutely fucking boring. You're just driving. You're just driving and eating snacks.
I was gonna say it involves a lot of salamis. Because I think it was the first time or the second time I joined him. This bitch texted me at like 5. He's like, "Yo, there's this one going down like an hour or two away. I am going right now. You should join me." And I was like, I was gonna go home and have some dinner, but okay. So I quickly went home, grabbed a giant pack of my. It was literally like a pound of salami that I got at the deli because
It was crazy.
I was gonna like, snack on it throughout the week, but I was like, that's the only thing that I really have that I can eat like to go. So I grabbed the full pound. They're pre-sliced, obviously. I asked the deli person to slice it for me, so it's not just like a giant cube. But I grabbed the whole pound, went in the passenger seat, and he started driving, and I started snacking on it. I just By the end of it, I ate the whole
Did you
pound.
eat the whole pound? You
Yeah,
ate the whole pound. That's
yeah.
right.
By the end of it, I was fucking hungry, man. That was my dinner time. Just got off work, dude.
You were still in your work uniform
Yeah,
with a pound of salami,
yeah,
just snacking away.
yeah.
I remember. I
Driving
remember
towards a
there's a couple of
tornado.
instances. I remember a couple of instances where like friends have had to feed me quite literally, just like here comes the spoon, like because I'm like trying to eat and drive at the same time. But there was also the other time we went together. I think I bought Chipotle. Was that I
You
bought Chipotle, but
did.
I forgot.
It was. I think
I
it
forgot to
was.
get a fork.
I don't remember it was the time that I drove or not, but it was pretty much like Etzel was being the navigator slash meteorologist and stuff. He has like I think 5 apps open and 3 tabs on his Google open and stuff like that. So he was like looking at everything, telling me where to go, and I was just driving. And he also hasn't eaten, so he got Chipotle, but they didn't give him a spoon or a fork. So I was just like, well, just fold up the tin foil like how you would with a yogurt tin and just eat it like a yogurt. And he did.
Just rice absolutely everywhere in my car. I think like The rice mess in my car looked like the actual tornado damage. It was just like that. That was a top tier
It
experience. If
was
anybody,
something. I was like at the driver's seat, I was just like looking over. You over there, one hand on your phone with 5 apps and everything open, the other hand holding the tinfoil of Chipotle and scooping at desperately at your beans while your spoon kept bending because it was just a lid.
we went that time, and then the other times, I think, did we ever? I don't think I caught anything with you, right?
No,
Because we just
we caught
we only
a
saw funnel cloud
yeah,
that one
we
time.
caught a funnel. That was it, but it looked like it was gonna land, but then it kind of just didn't.
It's crazy though, because that tornado, which this happens all the time. If you're a storm chaser, most of the times you go out are just duds. There's it could be like the strongest signature in the radar. By the way, this is how we kind of figure this out. There's a particular radar product that measures wind speeds. There's some that measure other things like coefficient, which differential coefficient, which is like the different size objects flying around. The wind speed of that particular storm was fucking crazy. It was like in the hundreds of miles per hour, which is crazy for that radar product. And just the couplet, which any storm chaser that knows what I'm talking about, there's a particular signature that happens when tornadoes happen in that radar product. And it looks like a little, it's almost looks like a yin and yang of just red and green. And it was just so strong. I was like, dude, we're gonna catch one and it's gonna be like a fucking monster. We get there and it's just like a little, it's a little. This it looks like this. The cloud has a dick. It's just right there. I was like, well, there it is.
Yeah.
But we did have a we. I think we stopped at like a whole lot. There was like a whole line of cars, which is insane. Like I'll say this: I'm an amateur storm chaser. I use mostly my phone to storm chase. I have like 10,000 fucking apps and like things open. I did National Weather Service training for storm spotting and stuff. And then the rest of it is just like my own research. I read some Audubon guides about storm chasing and just not storm chasing in particular, but meteorology in general. That helps me figure out where I'm going, how, where exactly do I go? How do I keep myself and my vehicle safe?
He did a bad job at that one.
Wait, I did it. I did a bad job that one time, which I'll get to. I'll get to in just a second. But I will say it is concerning when you look at the amount of people that were there and just in general the amount of people that are storm chasing because you hope that every single one of them is taking all those precautions, is like well read and knowledgeable about what is going on. You hope that there's no people out there that just saw a tornado warning and were like, let's go and see, because that is some of the most dangerous fucking thing. I don't think I need to say that. It is just so dangerous for you to just move towards a storm having no knowledge of how to read radar, having no knowledge of how a storm actually works, and just like driving straight into it. Motherfucker, you gonna die. If you haven't gotten killed yet, or like if you haven't experienced one like crashing into your car or something, it is just pure luck. I promise you. Because the only way that you can guarantee, and even then, it's not a guarantee. We saw it with the 2013 El Reno tornado in Oklahoma, where we had a number of chasers die that were professional. Like we are talking some of the like most professional, well-renowned storm chasers that had years of experience, were meteorologists themselves, and it's just that that particular tornado grew and moved with such extreme speed that it didn't matter. They nobody was expecting that one in particular. For anybody out there that's thinking of storm chasing, you can 100% do it. I encourage it. I think it's a great experience, but just be read up and be what the
Oh, someone revving outside.
fuck. Revving in your apartment complex is crazy. There's just speed bump after speed bumps, and they're not small. Jesus.
Nope.
But yeah, I won't discourage you from doing it, but please know your shit. Just that's all we ask. And then also, if you're storm chasing, keep the roads clear. That's just like courtesy, not really courtesy. You should be keeping the roads clear for emergency vehicles, people that are fleeing, maybe, which you shouldn't be fleeing from a tornado like that. But you never know. Just keep the roads clear and keep it to the side and stuff. And read up on your safety. Like, what do you do if a tornado comes towards you? What do you do if you're caught in a vehicle in a tornado, which you should never be caught in a vehicle in a tornado? That's like one of the most dangerous places you can be in. But understand that tornadoes like in many movies and stuff like that. I mean, in some movies they're exaggerated, obviously, but in a lot of other movies and stuff, it's like it's more you see like smaller and like just oh it looks so pretty, but tornadoes on the ground, they are the most violent weather phenomena on earth. You could say that outside of volcanoes, they are probably the most violent physical phenomena we see on the planet. So if you're caught inside one, it is good luck to you, and that's all we can do, because depending on the strength of it, you could end up quite literally in pieces. And I don't mean to exaggerate. You could end up being only identified via your dentures. So I just want to put it out there. Know your shit before you go out and like drive towards one of these motherfuckers, because that is insanely dangerous. But I did catch one that the day before, I think Salami Day, the day before the salami fiasco of 1989, I went out to Temple because there was a crazy straight line windstorm going out there, and I did eventually get tornado warned. That was last year, and it ended up being an EF2 tornado that dropped. And I was trying to keep my vehicle safe from hail damage because I had seen that the hail signature was like insane, and the reported hail was just crazy big, and the straight line winds were crazy. This storm was moving faster than most vehicles were moving on I-35, which is crazy. Like the clouds itself were just like speeding across the sky. And I remember parking myself. I was like, let me keep my car safe. I'll park myself right by the Bucky's. God sent, bless Bucky's. Was like, I'm just gonna stop like 200 feet away. And I remember catching the tornado as it crossed I-35, catching all the transformers exploding and shit, all the power flashes. And then as soon as the tornado kind of went by, I remember just literally gearing up. I'm like, okay, caught it. We're gonna go ahead and head to the Bucky's because I'm about to get pelted by hail. And just hearing the first just hail rock hit the side of my car, and I'm like, fuck. As soon as that one, the first one hits, you're like, I need to go, and we need to like, I needed to be at the Bucky's right the fuck now. I did a U-turn, sped towards the Bucky's, and by the time I was like probably only like 150 feet away, wipeout. Could not see shit. Just hail horizontally flying at my car. I was like, at that point, you kind of have to duck and cover because your windows could get blown out and stuff. And I remember literally trying to drive on the road, trying to make it to the Bucky's, and it was just I kept hitting the curb because you could not see the road for shit. So at one point, I intentionally got on the curb onto the grass to try to hide myself underneath this like weird overpass thing, which you shouldn't do for tornadoes, by the way. This was for protecting against hail damage. The tornado had already gone by. And just chilling in the grass with my car, just absolutely pelted by hailstones. You saw it, right?
Yeah, I
I
saw the
did show it to
aftermath.
y'all.
Like the car at the end ended up being totaled.
Yeah, I literally took it to an auto repair shop, which was my mistake. I shouldn't have taken it to an auto repair shop, but it was extensive enough damage that I was like, I don't. This is gonna really devalue my car, which should have been the sign that it was gonna be totaled. It was brand new too. I was so sad. It's
Mm,
crazy, 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 crazy
yep,
story.
my guy just spotted.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, you're not getting your car back. And I was like, the fuck you mean I'm not getting my car back? He's like, sorry, this shit is totaled. Like 75% of your car's value is gone. We're gonna have to replace the entire exterior of your vehicle. I was like, all right, well, suck. This new car that I have learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. I have hail damage on it. Now, not fixing it for shit. It's just gonna be.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just gonna
I was
be
gonna say
for
he
the
learned
sweat.
his lesson not to go to the auto shop, not that he learned his lesson to avoid the hail, because it was like what I think this new car. I think week 1 or 2, I don't know. Like I saw it and there was just dents everywhere, and I was just like, "Bitch, what?"
And those two, that particular storm season was so bad because the that was the storm season that had the Houston derecho. All of the storms that were coming in that particular like 2 week period were just flying. These storms were moving so fast that unless you had, and I made the mistake of in that storm going by myself, which was just generally don't do. I don't know what I was thinking.
If you're gonna
I've learned
die,
my
drag
lesson
someone
since
else with
then.
you.
Yeah, drag someone else. Let somebody die with you at the very least. Just simply because if you have two people, one person can watch the radar and like figure out where they need to go while the other person drives, and it works so much better that way. Don't go by yourself. Don't be stupid like I did. Don't get your car totaled or worse. But that was a whole fucking fiasco.
Yeah, yeah. A couple times I went
Outside of
with.
the ty-
Hmm,
outside of the typhoon stuff, what is the craziest weather shit you have ever experienced? It might have just been the typhoon shit.
I think like the craziest one was a lightning struck right outside, like I don't know, 100 feet away. I was in school, in a lot of like Asian schools. For those that don't know, if you watch anime, you would. Asian schools always have like a track and field section. It's just like, the typical oval shaped track field, and every school has that. That's just a standard for us. And my classroom at the time was, I think, on the third or fourth floor. I don't remember, but it was right outside, pretty much right next to the field, because the field is pretty much right down the middle of our school. It's just right big thing, and the schools around it. It struck pretty much like in the middle of that field. It was the loudest shit I've ever heard in my life. And you like afterwards you can see the char mark on the ground. That was crazy. Oh, actually that reminded me. Another thing, also track and field related, was, as I mentioned, Taiwan is pretty much in the geological location where like I think right on or next to two tectonic plates, the meat of two tectonic plates. So earthquakes are a huge thing in Taiwan. And for those that don't experience them often, and even for those that do, the typical earthquake you get are the sideways shakes. Those ones are the ones that, you might get stuff wobbling, and you might have a cup or two fall off the ground, but for the most part, they're not too dangerous until they're a certain level of intensity. But the real dangerous ones are the ones that goes up and down. Those ones, shit just go everywhere. And I remember I was, again, it was like gym class or something. So I was out on the field and I was running, and I saw directly at me the ground did the wave. It was like I saw it come toward, how like when you go to the ocean, you see a wave come, you can see, oh, there's one wave and then the second wave. No, like that, the ground did that. I saw the ground like physically, like, did the whole like like, yeah, it came towards me, and then the next thing I know, I was like up in the air and on the floor, and I was like, oh. So that was fucking intense.
Do you remember the sound? I've been told that the sound of earthquakes is terrifying, but also like not able to be described. It's like a deep, deep rumble.
Yeah, it's like a deep rumble, and depending on buildings, it can have some squeaks to it.
Oh yeah,
But like,
just squeaks.
well, yeah, because of the building, like,
When you said it, it just reminded me of the like basketball shoe squeaks where
oh,
it's just like.
yeah, no, it is recognizable, like you won't miss it. But also every time I hear it, it's takes a second where I'm like, what the fuck is that? And where is it coming from? And then you're like, it's an earthquake. For the most part, it happens so often in Taiwan, and a lot of times they're all just like small ones. It'll literally, like, people, we're so used to it. It's just like we'll be in class, whatever the teacher will be teaching, and all of a sudden we're just like, okay, well, next question. All right, we're all just like, it's an earthquake, whatever. Like we don't even duck or anything because we're just so used to it. Like we know that a scale is not gonna be dangerous.
I have a question. Why did you? I'm just curious. Why did you go storm chasing with me? You're like, I think, aside from another friend of mine, you're the only person that has ever been like, yeah, let's do it.
Honestly, mostly it's just out of curiosity. Because I was
Oh,
like, I
same.
don't know what the fuck that means. It seems interesting, and I've never seen a tornado before because like that's not a thing in Taiwan, and it's not really a thing in California either. And I say not really only because the most recent years with climate change, yes, it's a thing. There had been a couple tiny, minuscule dust devils that appeared, but even then, it was like I wasn't there for it. Yeah, that's why I never saw it. So I was just like, never seen one before. Seems interesting. You guaranteed my safety, kind of.
Sure.
You
If
you you
you'll,
verbally you verbally guaranteed my safety, so I was like, good enough for
I was
me.
like, you'll be okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, fuck it, I don't know, I'll just do it, I guess.
You'll be okay as I'm driving into like a cloud, like just a dark cloud of
No,
like houses.
no, you say that as you make me do that.
Even better.
Yeah, you're sitting in the passenger
You'll be
seat
okay,
looking at
Brian.
it.
Anyways, take a
You're like,
left.
yeah, pretty much. You're like, okay, it's that direction. You see that darkness? Go towards it. And I was like, okay.
Go. Most of the people I've talked to have just reacted, obviously, in just absolute terror. I'm like, absolutely no, fuck not. I'm not going storm chasing with you. So it's curious to see like at least two people who are like, sure, we'll go.
I'm for the most part, I'm a pretty laid back guy. I will do a lot
Just
of things at least
imagine
once.
the tornado coming towards you and you're just sipping on a margarita. Just yeah, you can do that.
Depends on what state of mind I am. I might.
Like listen, listen, it'd be like that.
It's like that one Key and Peele skit where Michael Jordan, I think, where he was like in his he was like sipping on a cup of coffee and he picked out a sugar free the fake sugar packs and then out in the distance a nuke go off and he looked at it and he's just like and he picked up the whole jar of sugar like the real sugar and he just like poured it in his coffee. He's just like, well, might as well.
Don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me why I storm chase, I don't know if I could answer because at first I got into it as many storm chasers got into it because I saw the movie Twister and we were like, holy shit. But slowly over time, it kind of became like once you become more knowledgeable about the storms and stuff and the meteorology behind it and also the human costs to storms, it just becomes more or less a passion of like being out there and being active when a storm is happening, being able to help people, being able to warn people, and like also when it comes to like more professional storm chasers, being able to gather data, which is I think so important. At the present, we know how tornadoes are formed. We have the general consensus and we have theories about and they're scientific theories, so it's not just speculation about how these storms progress and stuff. So we do know quite a bit. As like the common misconception is that we know nothing, which is wrong. But there's still like key pieces here and there that don't quite line up. Like, for example, storms that on radar look like they are perfect for tornado forming, and only like 10% of those will actually produce tornadoes. And you can get warnings. You can get everybody go to the fucking bathroom. Everybody fucking calm down, like the Office meme, kind of situations where it shows up on radar, but it's nowhere to be seen in person, and that is something that is still being researched and stuff to try to gather more information and make it better. So it I think there is a lot of good to storm chasing, especially when it comes to professional ones. For us like more amateur storm chasers, I like to stay out of their way. I don't like to pretend that I'm like, ooh, like I'm this professional and like I'm just like these guys. No. And I'm never going to pretend to be like that unless I'm actually, providing data and stuff like that. So we do like to stay out of the way for them to actually do their things. But it's important to also not be like completely amateurish like I was talking about. These storms for people that have gone through them, they're life changing, terrifying at times, but it's one of those things where they're also just fascinating. Like, how does the sky become so violent? Where one day you're like, oh look, such a nice day, let's go to the park, and then the next day your house or people's houses are being torn to shreds by just violent winds. Like, it's mind boggling how these works, and especially tornadoes at night. Tornadoes at night are probably the most terrifying weather phenomena out there. It's Halloween, so I'll leave y'all with a spooky description of tornadoes at night. But oftentimes, when there are night tornadoes, you can hear the sound. You can hear the rumble, the deep rumble of a tornado approaching. The sound is produced by the constant clash of materials against each other and the breaking and sharding of different materials. And then as the storm grows nearer, you won't be able to see anything. You'll only be able to see the tornado if there's power flashes and lightning. And usually the lightning is what saves you, is a common phrase. So you'll just be staring out into complete pitch black, and then you'll get a streak of lightning, and then you'll see just a dark mass in the middle. And at that point, if it's too close, you kind of just have to pray that you're gonna be safe. Some safety tidbits about tornadoes is, if you are ever in a situation where you're in a tornado warning, there's three different tornado warnings. There's a tornado, your regular tornado warning, which you should take heed. You should go into the bathroom. You should do you not. I say bathroom because that's my, but it should go to the centermost room of your house, away from all windows, away from exterior walls. If you have an underground shelter that or a basement, that is the best situation. But if you don't, go to the most interior room of your house. Try to bring something with you. If you have a bike helmet, that works just to protect your head from trauma. If you don't, maybe pillows can help sometimes. Things to kind of shelter you from debris and stuff like that. Most people who die in tornadoes die because of debris flying towards them and like actually hitting them or penetrating. And so that is something to keep in mind for. You should never be caught in a tornado in a car. It is one of the most dangerous places you can be. If a tornado picks you up and you're inside your vehicle, the chances of you surviving are not great. So just if you are in a car and you see that you're driving down the road, you see that black mass with the lightning, and you're like, shit, fuck this. The best thing to do is to step out of your vehicle and try to find, if you can, try to find the nearest ditch and lie flat with your neck bracing against the ground. So to try to make yourself as flat as possible in the lowest ground section you can find. So if it's a ditch, if it's a canal of some sort, try to do that before you just jump into some ditch. Oftentimes with these storms, there's flash flooding too, so pay attention to what the ditch you're jumping into. Don't want to just jump into a river. It is imperative that you are not caught in a vehicle, and you should abandon your vehicle if there's a tornado coming. There is no shelter provided by an underpass. There is no shelter provided. It just makes it worse. Overpass can protect you from like your vehicle from hail, but from a tornado, it just creates a wind tunnel effect, which actually increases the wind speed. So you don't want to be in an underpass, and you never want to run away from a tornado. In the El Reno tornado, just one example, the speed was greater than any speed limit nearby. I think the acceleration went above like 80 miles per hour at some point of like the speed of the tornado actually moving. You're not gonna drive that, especially because the tornado doesn't obey traffic laws. It's just gonna cut diagonally while you're trying to do turns and wait for lights and shit. Don't drive away from a tornado. Instead, try to find shelter. Try to find the nearest building. If you're caught in your car, actually, that's the best scenario. Try to find the nearest sturdy building, but if you can't, lie in a ditch. Those are the best things to do. For the people that have been caught in tornadoes and have not survived, the horror is something else because tornadoes can, depending on their strength, can skin you. There's just one example. They can sandblast you, which is when you're getting like pelted with tiny little pieces of particles of dust, where the friction is enough to actually rip your skin. They can tear you to pieces. There's crazy tornado destruction, like they can impale straws through a tree, or they can impale like wooden pieces through concrete. It, you do not want to be caught in that. So Just take your precautions and stuff. And if you're looking to be a storm chaser, read a lot before you head out there, and stay clear of shit, and don't pretend to be a professional because you ain't. So that's that's my closing statement for storm chasing.
Yeah, see, my strategy is we all have heard that the eye of the storm is the safest. So
Oh,
what I'm
I
gonna
see.
do is I'm gonna beeline the eye, and then I'm just gonna walk inside of it, whichever direction that it is going. So I'm always safe.
Well, you take whichever one you want. If you want to walk into a tornado, I can't stop you. Well, I think is that gonna be it for today? Have you been obsessed with any music recently or anything like that? Food.
My life has just been Dungeon Crawler Carl and work, but Dungeon Crawler
I've
Carl.
been back on my Noah Khan era
Oh
again.
yeah,
I never really get off of it, but
has he released any music yet?
no, I'm just listening to some of his older shit
Mm.
and just like
It
obsessing
is stick
because
season.
it's so good. That is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
But yeah,
Cool.
all right. Is that it?
Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, this is an informative episode for you. Hopefully, some entertainment as well. But otherwise, if you don't have anything to add, we'll probably sign off, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, if
Click
you, yeah,
the like button, subscribe, comment what your like craziest storm picture slash experiences. Um, and yeah,
yeah, neat.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I'll see you guys next week.
Adios.
Ciao.